Hey y'all, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Set apart Tony back again with another one. Now in this video I'm going to be breaking down the effects of what alcohol does to the body, what it does to the mind, and what it does to the soul while using the word of the Most High and not based on my opinion. In this video I will be reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verses 29 through 35 to really show you guys how serious alcohol is to the Most High and what it really does to us. And he puts this stuff in his word so we can have a better understanding on how it affects us. And many people don't understand is that this type of stuff is in the Bible, and he takes it very, very seriously. We're going to start at verse 29. It reads, "Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaints? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of the eyes?" The definition of woe is a condition of deep suffering from misfortune, affliction, or grief, which means to be suffering from any kind of distress, from any kind of financial problem, from any kind of life situation. Because sometimes life just hits us in the mouth very bad, and it puts us in a very deep stage of suffering and misfortune. The point is that woe means a deep condition which you're suffering from something. The definition of sorrow is a deep distress, sadness, or regret, especially for the loss of someone or something loved. That could be someone in your family that passed away. That could be a wife, a husband, a child, or it could be something in your career, like a job, something that meant something very deeply to you, but you eventually lost it for whatever the reason that may be. The word complaint means an expression of grief, pain, or dissatisfaction. That could be anything in life, regardless if it's at our job or any kind of life situation, anything that causes us to be dissatisfied with life. Because life can sometimes be very stressful. It can sometimes punch us in the mouth and we get frustrated with certain things. The word wound. Now, as you can see in this picture, it has three different definitions. But because we're dealing with alcohol, because alcohol affects the mind very bad, we're going to go with the second definition, and it reads a mental or emotional hurt or blow. Without cause, who has redness of the eyes. And as you guys can see, redness of the eyes is a emotional state of crying whenever we get sad or depressed or just deep down frustrated with life. Now, verse 30 says, those who linger long at the wine, those who go in search of mixed wine. In other words, the people who deals with those emotions I just explained to you guys are people who go and search for alcohol to basically drink their problems away because they're going through the emotions and they're upset with life and they're depressed, but it's not the right thing to do. Verse 31 reads, do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly. In other words, what God is basically trying to explain to his children is basically don't feed into the hype. Don't feed into the hype of what alcohol can do, the way it look, because I know sometimes when we go and buy certain brands of alcohol, we can get so caught on how it look in the bottle because certain bottles are expensive, the design of the bottle and how it look. That's why he tells us don't look at the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it swirls around smoothly, because that could be a way to entice us to make us want to buy it. And the things we see on social media, how people promote it so much, is promoted in our sports industries, is promoted at different commercials that we see on TV, is promoted all around us. And it makes people get so caught up in the hype of it. They go, okay, I'm about to try this. This looks fun. This looks fun to take my emotions away. This looks fun to be able to meet new people. Verse 32, it reads, at the last it bites like a serpent. Now, think of a serpent. Obviously, a serpent is a snake. Now, when you looking in the animal kingdom, a snake bites his opponent extremely fast. They strike very fast. So, in other words, that's how the alcohol is going to strike us. It's going to strike us extremely fast just after a few minutes of us drinking, and stings like a viper. A viper is obviously another snake. So, when the snake bites their prey, they inject venom into them. And after a few minutes, depending on the size of the animal, it's going to start to go through their body quick. And it's going to start stinging real bad and burning real bad. Now, think of alcohol that way. When it goes through our body, it hurts, it stings, especially when we drink it, it goes down our throat. And that is why people have to, when they drink it at parties, they have to use chasers. A chaser is something you could put in the alcohol to try to numb the stinging sensation away a little bit. You can use orange juice, you can use pop, or any other soda for that matter. Because back when I used to drink, when me and my friends used to go to the clubs and stuff, that's what we would do. We would get chasers. We would usually get Sprite. But the point is that when you gotta try to chase it down a little bit to make it not so strong, that's how you know it's something you should not be putting into your body. Verse 33 it reads, "Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things." Your eyes will see strange things because your vision is so impaired. Your vision gets extremely blurry because of all the alcohol that's in your system. You can't even see straight to the point where you're walking around, you start knocking into things, you start falling into things because you can't see them because your vision is so impaired and you're seeing strange things that aren't even there. And then it says your heart will utter perverse things, which means you start to think of wicked things, you start to think of bad things, think of killing people, you will start thinking of sexual things. This is why people, when they get drunk, they end up sleeping with someone that they never thought they would, start doing sexual things because their heart is uttering perverse things because they're not in the right state of mind because their brain is so impaired from the effects of the alcohol. People get angry, they want to cuss, they want to fight. We've all met that angry type drunk person. We've all met that emotional type drunk person. When they get drunk, they start getting emotional, just like in verse 29 explained to us. So yeah, y'all, this is very deep that the Most High warns us about the effects of alcohol. Verse 34, it reads, "Yes, you will be like the one who lies down in the midst of the sea, or like the one who lies at the top of the mast." Now look at this great example, he says. God says, lie down in the midst of the sea. Now imagine you trying to lie down in the middle of the ocean while floating on your back. That would not be the very wise thing to do, because not only are you risking yourself at potentially drowning because it is very difficult to try to float or swim in the ocean, but you're also putting yourself at risk by getting eaten alive by piranhas or sharks or any other ocean predator. And this would be a very good example to use that God gives us, because when we're drunk, we do stupid things at parties. Well, if you've been to parties like I have back when I was drinking and being part of the world, which I'm not proud of, but anyway, you would do stupid things. You would jump off buildings. You would jump in the pool with your clothes on. If you're a female, you will show your breasts towards all the men in there. Like, you do a bunch of dumb things that you would never think you would do. The next part of verse 34, God says, or like one who lies at the top of the mast. The definition of mast is a long pole or spare rising from the keel or deck of a ship supporting the yard, booms, and rigging. Now a mast. Now this is the best example that I can give. This right here is a picture of a boat. And look at number one. Imagine you trying to lie on top of that pole at the very top right there. That would not be a very wise thing to do, because first of all, there isn't no room for you to lie down. And if you do, you're just going to fall and possibly end up injuring yourself or possibly killing yourself. Now, if you go back to the verse and read it again, it says, yes, you will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea, or like one who lies at the top of the mast. Notice how it says yes. That's literally God speaking. He's saying, yes, bro, you go do stupid things. You go make a whole lot of bad decisions by letting alcohol take over your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, verse 35, which continues right after verse 34. Or like the one who lies at the top of the mast, saying, they have struck me, but I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake that I may seek another drink? So in other words, they did not learn their lesson. Despite them going through all that, they're still going to come back for more. They're still going to come back for the alcohol. Because it says, I was not hurt. They have beaten me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake that I may seek another drink? Now, how many times have we seen people who drink alcohol, despite them going through all the stuff they went through, eventually they want to go back to it. They say to their friends, yo, bro, I'm trying to get turned up again. Like when y'all trying to get lit again, they do not learn their lesson from their mistakes because they feel like they're still alive, that they're not hurt at the moment, that they're still good. So they're going to get a little arrogant and cocky and want to come back for more, because the human body, unfortunately, is just never satisfied no matter what. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 11 reads, as a dog returns to his own vomit, so a fool repeats his folly. A dog returning to his own vomit, which means a person returning to his own bad decisions that cause him to fall. He's returning to his own vomit, his own disgusting ways that cause him to fall in the pit. So a fool repeats his folly. So you're going to repeat the same thing that you did before. In other words, you're not learning from your mistakes at all. Now, I just really just wanted to break that down. Again, that's Proverbs chapter 23, verses 29 through 35. Because I believe that that proverb is extremely important, especially for the times they're in now. Because hard times get ready to come. People are going to start panicking when they see the economic collapse falls, when we see that more food shortages are going to happen. There are a lot of bad things coming, and people are going to try to turn to alcohol to try to numb the pain away. Because we see that now, people going to parties, people going to clubs, etc. This is a very important message, especially for the young people in my generation. I just want to let you guys know, y'all. I know it's fun at the end of the day because I've done it too, but it is not the right way to do it. Like temporarily fun, it is not worth your soul at all. When you make those bad decisions, then you don't want to take accountability. You want to blame the alcohol. Well, the thing is, the alcohol didn't force its way down your throat. You chose to make that, and then because you were intoxicated, you chose to make a lot of bad decisions, like jumping off stuff, jumping in pools when you had your clothes on, sleeping with someone you never thought you would sleep with, doing a bunch of wicked things that you would never do because that's not who you are. Because you decided to make decision to drink alcohol. At the end of the day, I know it can be fun, but it's not worth your soul. So I just thought this great message was important to give out because the Most High really put this in my heart, and I broke it down in love. And I know I go real deep in breaking things down, but like I've said in multiple videos, I love giving people clarity. I love using visual images so people could truly understand. Because what we got to understand as warriors for the Most High is that when we're spreading His truth and spreading His light, we have to do it in a way that people will truly understand it. Like I said before, when you're ministering to people in the world, people aren't going to understand certain things in the Bible. They're not going to understand certain words. They're not going to understand certain precepts upon precepts. You have to use definitions. You have to use images in order to break it down so in a way they understand it. So they'd be like, oh, okay. So I didn't even know that was in the Bible. Like that's real deep. It's gonna want to draw more people in to do it in love and to give them more clarity. So y'all, I just want to say I love y'all. I thank y'all for this message, and I'm gonna keep on delivering more powerful and powerful messages. The more stuff that the Most High reveals to me. You guys take care and God bless.